angels, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a pick a pal. I'm actually only going to be doing 2 pals today, and I'm using my dog toys because I'm using just one deck. So yeah, pal number 1 is going to be this llama. I think it's a llama. It's purple. It has like, I don't know what these are called, but it reminds me of like Hispanic culture. And then this is a black spider. So pick a pal. Okay, if you chose pal number 1, this pal is for you. So I literally need to take a deep breath because the energy to this pal feels a bit heavy. Feels a bit heavy. In your past life, you may have been like, please don't 100% quote me because I don't really know that much about history. I mean, I know like basic history, but I don't really know that much about history. But it does feel like you're someone who was actually a masculine energy in your past life. You could have followed like a earth sign. It feels like in the past life, the overall theme is chains, which in this deck is like the devil. So it feels like you felt tied to something out of like duty, out of obligation, out of maybe even culture. We have Native American that came out, so you could have been someone who was Native American. I'm not necessarily feeling like this was as far back. Native Americans still exist now, but I don't feel like this was that far like back. It just more so feels like this was in a time where maybe there was some sort of like need to provide, which I guess could be any time. It feels like you were a masculine energy and you were likely the provider for your family as well as like a father, and it's coming through as like you really wanted to like carry your family on your back, specifically a child. So you could have been like a single parent. There's like in this image, which these are actually, this is my ghost deck, but in this image there's this woman who's flying around with, it looks like a younger child on her back. So it's like you were carrying your family on your back, and it feels like with the 3 of Swords you could have also been going through some sort of like heartbreak. So this could even be an energy where, yeah, the Lover's reverse. It's like something about you not having a choice, like you not having a choice but to be a single parent or but to carry your family on your back, even if you weren't a single parent. But I'm kind of feeling like you were, like maybe your spouse passed away or something like that, because there was like this, but I don't know, it almost too, I could get an energy to where you were actually like abandoned by the mother, or you could have been a feminine energy but you just had to carry a masculine energy, whatever. But with Judgment, there was like, what is that, like a cane versus a heart or something. There was this energy of like, okay, I have a choice. Like I can choose to not take this path, even though I don't feel like I have a choice. It's like I know that technically I do. Like I could choose between X and Y, right? But it feels like with the Lover's reverse, it was like within your character or the type of person that you are to make a decision that was in alignment with taking on this responsibility, because that's just like the type of person you were. With the 7 of Cups reverse, again, there's this energy of like, I don't really have another option. Like, so it feels like you were somebody who had a strong sense of like morality, sacredness, even in the way that you moved. So yeah, it does feel like there was this energy where you had to take a leap of faith towards being stable. This could specifically be regarding the type of job that you ended up taking. It's like you had to do something. Depending on how far back this is, it could have been literally that you like had to go, no, it doesn't, like it feels like maybe you were some sort of like guard or something like that. Let me actually get one more. Tell me more. Yeah, it's like maybe you had gone to the military or something. And that's what I was getting at first, but I'm like, okay, where if you were in the military, like how could it be possible that you also were taking care of a family? But like maybe you had already gone to the military preemptively. Like it feels like maybe you had a spouse who was pregnant or something like that, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the military, and you went through some sort of like knighthood, but then when you came back it was like something changed, or soon after you came back something like shifted and you were called to like make this choice or decision, and it feels like it was like something that was very hard for you. But also, again, there was this energy of like, I really don't have another choice. So let me see how this is impacting you in your current life. My watcher's going, it's kind of loud. Yeah. Okay, so this really brought you closer to a sense of faith. So it feels like you may have a strong sense of faith in this lifetime. Like, even if you face adversities, you're probably the type of person to where you have the capability or the mental strength to do very tough things. Yeah, even in the face of feeling like, I don't want to do this, like I'm in prison to do this. So you may be somebody who has I don't want to say easy, but mentally you have, yeah, literally spirituality and religion and then trust and faith. It's like mentally in this lifetime, you have a really strong mind because it was built on something that's like really ancient and stable. So you probably learned this this lesson of being this type of person a very long time ago, like maybe not even in the lifetime that I'm picking up now, but like prior to that. So it feels like you were in this energy of, or you are in this energy of like a lot of wanderlust. You have like, again, a strong sense of faith. Clarify. You may even be very spiritual or religious, or you may like in your life become that. Specifically, it feels like you move away from one way of being at some point in your life. This may have already happened, and you shift to another way of being. So yeah, the 8 of Cups, and then we have the Page of Cups at the bottom, so that makes 9 cups. With the 6 of Swords, there's this energy of at some point in your life, you're going to shift away from something that you were maybe born into that made you feel constricted in some type of way, into something that feels freer. So for some of you, you could have been religious and you switched to spirituality, or the other way around, but it feels like whatever you switch to, there's this energy, Ace of Cups, of you feeling like really nurtured or cared for, like really divinely guided and connected. And this is something that could actually even bring you closer to some sort of romance in this lifetime, whether it's through your faith or literally you could meet someone like at some sort of spiritual retreat or church or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's like it's hard for you, or not hard, but it's burdensome to, or yeah, it's burdensome things that you deal with in life, but it feels like because you have so much faith, you're able to keep discernment. But there is this warning of like not overly performing or carrying things that you don't have to carry out of a sake of faith. So in this lifetime, I think your lesson is to learn how to not take on, like you don't have to take on such a heavy burden, like you have a choice. So yeah, you have a choice. That's what I'm getting. You have a choice to set the heaviness down. You have a choice for somebody to maybe come in and help you. You have a choice to cultivate more stability, but it's like you need to pay attention. Because you could even be a bit stuck in your ways, overly independent. I got it, don't worry about it. I think in this lifetime, there's this lesson of like you needing to allow people to help you. So that is what I'm getting for pile number 1. Okay, if you chose pile number 2, this one's for you. So let's talk about your past life. I feel like in your past life, you dealt with poverty. It feels like there is something that happened which was a shift or an ending that was very painful and that you were forced to move away from. But ultimately, it's something that brought you to like a better dynamic. This could have been something to where you were like raised in a family where it was like survival mode. There was, you know, like financial issues or something like that. And you made the decision to move away from that family. Specifically, it could have been under the prefixes of you getting pregnant, because I can see that you had a baby that was very significant. This could have been like a spirit baby. And so there was this energy of like, I need to find balance. I'm dissatisfied with where I am. Almost even like you felt like you were drowning and like no one could hear you. It's like, this reminds me of a quote. I don't know if this was like a song lyric or something, but I heard it as like when I was in high school, and it was something like, oh no, it was from that movie Beyond the Lights. That movie could be significant, but she was like, I feel like I'm suffocating in the middle of the road and no one can see me or hear me, something like that. That's how your life felt. It feels like you were in this energy where you were hungry for something better, for something different. Again, literally, you could have literally been hungry. Like, it feels like you were in this energy where things were painful and you had to like survive. And so you literally got this like I think it's a literal baby that came through and you were like, okay, I want better for my baby. I don't want my baby to experience the things that I've experienced. So it feels like in this past lifetime, you may have dealt with also like really strict family. Even if there was some sense of like poverty, it doesn't feel like you came from like a really wealthy or high status family. It feels like there was some sort of poverty, but still you had at least one parent. I'm picking up on a masculine energy that was really like hard on you. So not only were you dealing with like literal lack, but also you had someone who was really hard on you, and I think that that contributed to the energy of you feeling like you were drowning. It feels like you had a very karmic, literally karmic relationship, transportation lessons and lessons. It feels like you had, and then leaving or traveling, and then mother. It feels like you had a really karmic life where there was a lot of lessons, and you literally, a part of your soul's contract was to move away from whoever this person was. It could have even been a mother figure, or you were the mother. Well, you definitely were a mother, but it could have been your maternal figure as well. So if whatever I feel like wounds you have in this lifetime, it could be connected, like whatever parent wounds you have in this lifetime, it could be connected to this past life. So either you have strong maternal wounds or strong paternal. I was picking up on a masculine energy, but we do have the King of Cups here upright, so maybe it actually was feminine, but take it how it resonates for your life. But yeah, I feel like you literally had like really strict parents, or parent, maybe both for some of you, but your energy was coming through as like very divinely protected. There was heavy like angelic energy around you, so you could have been like an earth angel in this path. Yeah, literally father just came out, I'm telling you. You could have, it's clarifying angel. Maybe this was the father of your kid. Let me see. Yeah, I think actually what I'm getting is there was some sort, like, I think, yes, you were very divinely protected. You could have been an earth angel, but you had some sort of protector. It's like, I feel like in a past, whatever past lifetime I'm picking up on, the father of the baby was somebody who was kind of sent to protect you. So it feels like you had some sort of divine connection where you were like an earth angel and you were dealing with someone who was like, it was like healer protector type of archetype. And I feel like maybe you were young, you guys were young. And there's this energy of like, I feel like your parents had met this person. And they maybe like, honestly, maybe it wasn't strict in a toxic way, but it almost feels like maybe there was some sort of like Amish or like really religious type of life. Let me see. Can you clarify what this family dynamic was like that they came from? Okay, they were really intentional with that. Wisdom. Give me one more. It's something rare because we have wisdom, which has a unicorn on it. So it's something really rare. Yeah. Give me one more. I'm telling you. Confirmation. Okay, yeah, whatever. It feels like it was something rare. It could have literally been like some sort of like Amish or like, yeah, like it was strict. I don't know if it was strict in I can't really think of like what it could have been. Whatever it was, it feels like there was this energy where that my dryer, it's so long, or my washer. Thank you. Yeah, so it feels like there was this energy where you were maybe like really secluded. Your family were hard workers, but like you guys were still dealing with poverty. You could have had like a really older family, like older parents. And so maybe that's why there was this energy of strictness. Like maybe they were kind, but they were just like really like a lot older and they just didn't understand the way you wanted to live. Or you could have been, I don't feel like you were shamed for the pregnancy that you experienced, but something about it was just really hard on you. Like maybe you felt different and you were like a black sheep and you just felt like they couldn't see you or understand you because they were kind of stuck in their ways because they were so much older. But regardless, I feel like you had a spouse who like took you away from this karmic dynamic and was able to help you like gain roots in like a new version. So it feels like maybe you were emotionally suppressed, because again, when I talk about this drowning energy, it's the Four of Cups, which is emotions, feeling like dissatisfied. So it feels like whoever this person was, your spouse, it's somebody who like really came in and like cared for you and nurtured you in a way that you maybe never experienced before. And so you took a leap of faith with this person to move away from your family dynamic. So let me see how this is impacting 18 on the clock. Let's see how this is impacting you now. How does this relate? How is this impacting this collective? So I feel like already, you may be somebody who has a lack, or at some point had a lack of like faith. Like you maybe are someone who had a hard time believing that good things could happen. Also, there was like this hard time, or there is this hard time, or at some point was this hard time in your life of like being like able to be creative and express yourself in a way that is not traditional. Because again, I feel like you came from some sort of like really traditional, maybe even restrictive type of past life. So with the Queen of Wands sideways and the Queen of Cups upright, it feels like emotionally you're connected to something that matches the energy of the person from your past life. Maybe you could have, like, you and this person could actually be connecting in this lifetime. Like this could be like a primary soulmate, somebody that you end up with lifetime after lifetime. I don't know if you've met them yet, but yeah, anyways, it feels like there's this energy where you lack confidence in your ability to have faith, even though on an emotional level, you can feel things very strongly, maybe even a connection to spirit or something like that. It feels like you lack the confidence to really ground yourself. Like you lack the courage. Like you have all the tools, but you may just feel like you don't really know how to connect to spirituality or religion, or you had a hard time at some point. There was also this lack of feeling like you can, like like you have enough knowledge to be creative or to express yourself in a creative way. Like there's this energy of like maybe you're naturally a really creative person, but you dealt with a lot of adversity externally or internally as it relates to that, which could have like suppressed your creative ways. So it feels like in this lifetime, you've gone through like maybe a lot of like chaos because you've been at war with yourself. Like there's this energy where it's like you may pray, but then you lack the faith to believe things are gonna actually happen. So it feels like in this lifetime, the way it affects you is like at some point, whether it's now or this has already happened, there was this inability to, like, you may have like a low sense of like confidence in yourself and your ability to create and your ability to live in your emotions and your ability to truly connect to spirituality or religion, or you could have struggled with that at some point. I want to see how this relates to this person though, because I'm seeing a connection. Unrequited love is at the bottom. Tell me about this King and Queen of Cups. How does this person tie into this lifetime? Definitely some sort of spiritual connection here. Vows, but it came out like sideways. Trust and faith. It's like there's a connection that I feel like really is helping you in this lifetime, and my tooth started hurting. There's like a connection that is trying to help you in this lifetime connect to your sense of faith, and that good things can happen, that you won't always be abandoned, that you don't have to live a certain type of way, that you can just like trust. Yeah, it's like you're coming through as this wounded warrior. You may be in this energy where it's like, I have to be stable, I have to fight, like things have to be hard, it has to be chaotic. There's like all of this like resistance to just go with the flow, to live in the flow of things, because you came from a family or a dynamic that was really strict, and they maybe like put that up on you a lot. Like the poverty that I was picking up on, it could have just been a lack mindset. Like you could have just had really traditional parents who made you feel like, oh, you can't be a singer. You know, like you could have been someone in that lifetime where it's like I'm thinking of the movie Coyote Ugly. Is that what it's called? You know, Coyote Ugly, yeah. Where she literally came from like, I think she lived in like a trailer park and she wanted to be a singer, and she literally like ran away to New York to be a singer. And yeah, so it feels like that could even be significant, where it's like the magician, you have some sort of magical talent in this lifetime, but it may have taken you a long time, or you may have had to put in a lot of work for you to feel confident enough to connect to that. Going back to this person, It feels like this person is supposed to bring you some sense in this lifetime of stability in the idea of like things being fun, like living a little, like not being so strict, not being so hard on yourself or something like that. I don't know if you've even met this person, but you would know based off of this energy. It feels like that's the role they're playing in your life. And it feels like whether you will end up with this person in this lifetime, it's kind of like up in the air based on your ability to drop your guards and feel more stable and confident within yourself and have more faith. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and comment, let me know how it resonated. I really had a lot of fun with this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to book a reading with me, I will have my website linked below, as well as my Patreon and my TikTok. And yeah, thank you guys so much.